Hey guys, before we start this video, I want to ask for your help. To help support this channel by subscribing to this channel and turning on the notification bell. And don't forget to always like and comment on every video. Thank you for those of you who have helped support me. Let's start the video. Chapter 1071, 1072. Lucci exclaims that they have already taken care of all the ships down below and just have to destroy this one. The ship they're talking about is 1000 Sunny Kaku, then exclaims that he will alone deal with it. Kaku combines the Tempest Kick with Sky Slicer attack and launches a compressed air slash that approaches 1000 Sunny. Before it could destroy the ship, Zoro, who is asleep, wakes up from his nap, unsheaths his sword, and deflects the attack. Seeing this, Kaku is left surprised at how this happened. Zoro then exclaims that who interrupted his nap. Kaku is frightened seeing Zoro there. Meanwhile, Pythagoras tells Sheikah that he has got the Frontier Dome back online, but the CP0 agents have already infiltrated. Shaka exclaims that they've been too late, and the agents will target the Straw Hat's ship. Shaka exclaims that the agents are already fighting a crew member that was guarding the ship, and if they don't hurry and back him up, they will lose their ride out of here. Lilith tells Shaka that eventually they are heading for war. Nami gathers everyone at one place as they're about to leave the Punk Records. Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei eventually reunite with the rest of the crew. Luffy cries out that why are they rushing as they just got there? Usopp replies that he too wants to stay, but this is a government island. Nami exclaims that Luffy has already bumped into Lucci. At that moment, Sanji asks them if they have seen Bonney. Robin too questions that where is Vegapunk? In the next scene, Bonney is chasing Vegapunk, who is asking her to give him a chance to explain. Bonney, however, is adamant on one question that can he turn his dad back to normal? Vegapunk replies to her that he can't, but there is a reason behind it. Meanwhile, somewhere in the waters of the New World, the Kid pirate ship is approaching an island. The pirates see a fish in the water that seems bigger than normal. Killer tells Kid to wake up as they are near the island and asks him that should they go and look around. Kid wakes up and exclaims, that is it even a thing to ask for, as he has never said no to explore flooring an island. Killer exclaims that he knows that, but probably. This island is the home of the giants called as Elbaf. Meanwhile, in G14 Naval Base, Dale calls Garp a troublemaker and tells him that they are about to head over Go Egghead and they can't spare any of their men. Garp tells her to not be so adamant. Dal tells her that it is not a joke he wants to launch an offensive attack against the Emperor, but as he cleared this with the top brass. Garp replies that he doesn't need to take permissions, to which Dal asks him that for how many decades he is in the Navy with this attitude. Garp tells him to not worry about it as he's already reached here. Garp tells Helmeppo to get out of the ship. Garp is confused that whether it was a pirate attack, and if so, what do they want from Helmeppo? Helmeppo realizes that it is Garp's ship. Helmeppo gets out of the ship and exclaims that he really wanted to see him. Helmeppo starts crying and tells him that Kobe got captured by Blackbeard. Garp tells him to stop crying and just quickly get on board. He announces that they are heading to Hachino soon. Let's beat those pirates and save Captain Kobe. Helmeppo and Nami are crying for Kobe, but Garp is confident that he will save Kobe. After all, he is the hero of Marines, even if the world doesn't accept how she came to be. But the girl is unmistakably human, and it's a success. He cannot bear witness to this achievement and mentions that it is a remarkable step toward world peace. These are the words of Vegapunk, chief of MADS, which he exclaimed at the Laboratory of Peace. What he meant will be unraveled at a later point at Punk Records. Bonney, who is running after Vegapunk, lies on the ground and starts sobbing. She is transformed into a child using age manipulation and exclaims that she might have broken something as she is feeling hurt. Vegapunk, who is hiding, comes out seeing her crying. Vegapunk quickly calls the medics to come and check Bonney because she is injured in reality. Bonney has played a trick on him, just like giving cheese to a mouse for bringing it out of the hole. At that moment, Bonney gets up while Vegapunk is trying to contemplate what she is doing. But before he could figure out anything, Bonney transforms herself into a muscular personality. Using the distorted future move, Bonney chases Vegapunk and charges a pipe at him. But he manages to dodge the attack as the pipe hits the wall, causing destruction. Vegapunk pleads her to stop this, but she is determined to not let him escape. At that moment, Bonney uses the Age Skewer move and thrusts Vegapunk with the pipe. causing his age to pop out and take on different forms while Vegapunk is transformed into a child Bonney. Finally stops and is huffing. She is standing near Vegapunk, who is lying on the floor as an infant. Vegapunk exclaims that he thinks the shiny shapes in front of him are a manifestation of the years he just lost. Vegapunk exclaims that he has been transformed into a helpless child and pleads Bonney to return his golden years back. Bonney picks him up by his collar and tells him that his power doesn't last forever on living things, which means he will turn back to normal in some time. Bonney then asks him the reason why he killed her father. She wants to know why Vegapunk took his father's personality from him and turned him into a hopeless, emotionless figure. Vegapunk is still adamant on not telling her the truth, because if he tells her the truth, it will only hurt her. Meanwhile, at the Red Port, Kuma, who crashed the Red Line, is now trying to climb the Red Line and reach Mary Joa's people. They are terrified of Kuma's actions before he could reach at the top. He is bashed to the ground by Marines. He is panting continuously due to his bad condition, but continue, fighting back. Vegapunk tells Bonney that he promised Kuma that he would keep his secret from her no matter what. Bonney mentions that he is saying he cannot tell her the reason why he killed her dad. Does she look like a kid who was born a day before? Vegapunk tells her that she has to believe him. He was not the one who made her dad like that, but Kuma himself chose that fate for him. Bonney is not ready to believe his words and rages, calling him a liar. Bonney believes that her dad would never choose to leave humanity and abandon her. Bonney determines to kill Vegapunk. Vegapunk, however, tells her that it was not easy for him too, and he wishes to forget the whole ordeal. He exclaims that Kuma was an incredible man, and he has always been proud to call him his close friend. He then pleads Bonney to leave him as he cannot reveal any more facts on this matter. Meanwhile, Marines are launching blows at Kuma to stop him from climbing the Red Line. Bonney, on the other hand, dashes Kuma on the ground, telling him to spit the truth as she will not going to blindly trust his lame excuses. Vegapunk, taking advantage of the situation, calls it child abuse. At that moment, suddenly Bonney hears a beep sound coming from a nearby door. Bonney turns to the door and starts walking in its direction. While Vegapunk looks in shock at her, Vegapunk tries to stop her from going there and tells her that it has nothing to do with Kuma. Bonney calls his words a lie and approaches the door. She sees a bare paw print on the door and assumes that it definitely has some connection with her dad. She tries to open the door and breaks the controls of the door. Using oil breakdown, the door opens and Bonney walks inside the door. Bonney finds a huge paw-shaped bubble. Her eyes are fixated on the bubble while she is panting roughly. Vegapunk also crawls inside the door, and the bubble reminds him something from the past. A flashback comes before his eyes, where he and Kuma are talking to each other. Vegapunk tells Kuma that a scientist in West Blue once postulated that a person loses 21 grams of mass upon death, and it can be considered the weight of their soul. He calls the theory fascinating and exclaims that such a link proves the existence of soul. Vegapunk tells Kuma that his power can take something intangible like pain and give it a physical form. Not only that, he can even transfer it to others. It would be a total wireless transmission of nerve signals. Vegapunk exclaims that he is wondering if that same logic can be applied to other nervous signals. What he means is, can they determine if other things such as imagination and memories have mass and volume as well? Kuma exclaims that does he want him to pull out his memories and display them? He cannot do that because memories are too personal. He pleads him to help as it will help. Advanced science. He also promises that nobody else would see. Then Kuma keeps saying no, but he begs him to help. Vegapunk comes out of the flashback in the present and forbids Bonney to touch the bubble. He exclaims that she must be aware of Kuma's powers, and the bubble contains nothing but pain, such an amount of pain that is enough to kill a person. Meanwhile, the Marines are shooting attacks at Kuma to restrict him from getting to Mary Joa's. The Marines directly hit Kuma, causing him to fall from the Red Line again. While at the Egghead Island, Bonney exclaims that she is completely aware of her father's ability. At the Red Line, the Marines are seizing Kuma to finish him. Seeing that Kuma is still alive even after falling from the Red Line, the Marines order the civilians to immediately evacuate the area. Bonney, on the other hand, is about to touch the bubble, considering that his father's memories are still there. Meanwhile, Kuma is in a bad condition, and there is no surety. How much long can he survive the attacks? The scene then shifts to Egghead Lab Stratum. where the Straw Hat Pirates and the Vegapunk clones are having a discussion on the events unfolding before them. Nami exclaims that Lucci made all the way up there. Shaka replies that it was because the system malfunctioned. Sanji exclaims that at least. Zoro and Brook are on the ship to protect it, even if it is a fight of 2 against 3. They will figure out something, and there is no way they could lose. But Shaka tells them that the battle is far more lopsided than they think. Usopp is shocked to hear this. Shaka exclaims that the Seraphims are also there, and it is a 2 against 7 fight going on. Usopp exclaims that the CP0 agents acted fact to call on backup when the barrier was down. Shaka replies that he doesn't think that CP0 agents ordered them. Directly, Shaka tells them that the Seraphims can assess combat situations and are equipped with some limited decision-making capability of their own. Sanji asks him that is he trying to say that the Seraphims decided to invade by their own. Lucci, on the other hand, exclaims that they didn't order the Seraphims to come, and now they cannot even make them go as the dome is operational again. Meanwhile, Shaka has pointed out the key. He exclaims that the enemies made a serious miscalculation, and now that the Seraphims are up there, they can turn them back. To their side, since they are higher in the command, it means that Vegapunk's command has higher importance than CP0's commands. Edison and Lilith leave from there to order Seraphims. Shaka leaves it to Lilith and Edison, while Lilith tells her to limit his expectations of them. Nami tells Sanji to go along with them as the threat can affect the whole crew. Sanji runs on Nami's command, while Frankie warns her that the situation is serious. The scene then shifts to Thousand Sunny, where Brook asks Zoro about the devil creature. In front of them, Zoro exclaims that he is meant to be a Garafe, but seems a little different from what he remembers anyway. It doesn't matter, as he would soon be killed by him. Kaku replies to him that he cannot cut him. Zoro tells Brook to take care of the ship. Kaku and Zoro clashes with each other, and Kaku attacks Zoro with his nose gun. The Giraffe Man's attack sends Zoro knocking off in the air. Zoro exclaims that he has filled his fighting critters with zigzagging attacks. Back in Wano, facing a similar kind of attack, he feels tired of such attacks. Meanwhile, Lucci orders Seraphims to quickly destroy the lab stratum before Vegapunk arrives there. Shaka, Usopp, and Nami are worried that the CP0 agents are going to annihilate the lab. The Seraphims launch a massive blow and destroys the lab with its upper part. Been cut into half. Usopp cries out seeing this, while Nami stops him to go near the lab. Kaku, on the other hand, is basically happy seeing this at that moment. Stussy bites Kaku on his neck, causing him to fall on the ground, making him unconscious. Lucci asks her that what is she doing. Stussy tells him that she was just putting him to sleep. Stussy then tells Lucci to join Kaku. As it is time for his cat nap too, it is revealed that Stussy is actually a clone of Miss Buckingham Stussy of the Rock Pirates, Mad's first successful clone Unit 1. Stussy, a mysterious smirk appears on her face.